notice how crisp this video is? You're probably here because you either saw me on a Zoom call or met me somewhere and commented on my camera and wanted to know the setup. So this video I made because so many people comment on it and there's a lot to explain. The video is going to be about 5 or 6 minutes long. It will walk you through everything that you need to get the look that I have. The pieces are all listed in the description. They are affiliate links. I make a couple dollars every time you purchase using them. It doesn't cost you any additional money or anything like that. So if you get use out of this video and you decide to go that route, I'd highly appreciate it if you use those affiliate links. I will tell you up front, to get the look that I have, you're going to be spending somewhere between $500 and $700. So you need to weigh that. If it's worth it to you, by all means, go in. I spend all day on Zoom calls. It's definitely worthwhile. I do a lot of video work. So we'll jump right into it. So you can use a lot of different cameras. You can use pretty much any DSLR. The thing is that a lot of them don't work. Trust me, I tested a ton of them out. If you read a lot of the forums, the Sony a5100 is the best camera for this. You can go higher grade. You can get the 6000, not the 6000. Do not buy the 6000. You can buy the 6100, the 6300. They work as well. But bang for the buck, the 5100 is the cheapest one. The thing is that it is no longer available new. You have to buy it used. So you can pick it up on eBay. The body by itself usually goes for $350. With the lens, it goes for right around $400. So the kit lens that comes with it will work just fine. It is, I believe it is 20 to 50 millimeter, 16 to 50 millimeter. So it'll allow you a little bit of zoom. It will give you the blurred background, although the bokeh, which is the term for the blurred background, is not like super blurry. I decided to upgrade my lens. If you want a different camera, you can go up to the 6100, which is the next generation. But you're going to pay about $850 for it. The only difference, I tried both of them, is, in my opinion, the only noticeable difference is that the 6100 auto zooms just a little bit quicker. So to show you what I mean, if I hold up my hand, right, auto zoom will kick in, maybe, there. And then I put it down. You can see how long that takes. With the 6100, it's a little bit faster. That is the only difference, but if you want a new camera, here it is on Amazon. So next up, this is the lens that I'm using. I wanted a little bit sharper bokeh. I wanted it to blur a little bit more in the background. So this lens does not zoom. It is a fixed zoom lens, but it allows it to blur out the background quite a bit more. So this is the lens that I went with. I got mine used. It was $200 used. So if you're keeping tabs right now, I was at about $550 by the time I reached this point. The next thing that you need is you need something that changes the signal from an HDMI signal into a USB that your computer can read. This is the CamLink 4K. This is what everybody recommends. I got this one, but I also got this one, which was $20. Said it did the same thing. That's what I'm using right now. I tried them both back and forth. There was no noticeable difference to me at all. So I kept the cheaper one and sent the most expensive one back. This is the highest price one. I also got this. The only difference between this, which is $150, and this one is that the latency on this is just like 1/10, like I would say like maybe 1/20th of a second difference. So latency is when you see my mouth move and you hear the sound, there's like a 1/10 of a second there. This is just slightly faster. I kept it for a week. I went back and forth on Zoom calls. Nobody ever said anything. So I sent this one back. But if you want the absolute best, this is the one that you will want to go with. So now that you have the camera, the lens, and the thing that puts the signal into your computer, the next thing that you need is the cable. So when you get the cable, make sure you get HDMI to micro. It is not a mini HDMI, it is a micro. I made the mistake and bought the wrong cable. I would say 6 feet is plenty long. You can get whatever length you need. So the micro plugs into the camera, the regular HDMI plugs into your cam link, and then the cam link plugs into your computer. Your computer will now read it as a webcam. Next up, you need something to hold your camera. This is what I use. This is behind my monitor. It holds it with no problem. If I stand up to do a webinar or something like that, I can just lift it up. It works great. I've had no problems with it. The question I get a lot is it strong enough? It definitely is. The camera does not weigh a lot. This works no problem. The last piece that you will need, and this one's really important, the battery in all the Sony cameras gets very hot when you shoot video repeatedly. It's just the battery. So this is a known problem. You can Google it if you really want. This is a dummy battery. It plugs in and it allows it to run at a much cooler temperature and on plug-in power. I've left it plugged in and on for weeks on end with no problem. It doesn't even get warm to the touch really, just slightly. I've left mine on for I think at least a week straight and had no problems with it. Most people will tell you that it works just fine. Sony does make a version. If you want to buy the Sony version, it's about $150. This one, all the forums I read said this was fine, and it has worked just fine. So that is everything that you need. A Sony a5100, a Sony a5100 back here. Is the camera I'd recommend. If you want the high-end version, go with the 6100 or the 63 or 6400. Do not get a Sony a5000. It will not work. Do not get a Sony a6000. It will not work. Has to be the 5100 or the 6100 or up. Next up, if you want the really good bokeh, you need the lens. Then you need something to use as a cam link. Take your pick of those three. You need a cable to plug in and go from the camera to the cam link. You need a stand for the camera to hold it. And you need the dummy battery so it does not overheat. All in, I'm at about $750 for everything to get what this looks like. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer them, but this should cover most of them. Hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you later.